Hare Krishna. So we are back in the hybrid format today. We are in the home of Bhagirath Prabhu and Doshna Mataji, very humble devotees. And we will continue our discussion on the offenses, the 10 offenses to the holy name. So somebody should mute themselves if you're not speaking. So we will start with the Mangalacharan prayers and then with the invocation prayers for Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'll share my screen. If at any point the audio is not clear or anything is, not okay, please send a text on the chat or something. So hopefully you can see this. And we will go to the Mangalacharan prayers in the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. So we will recite the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for joining, everyone. So we will now recite the Mangalacharan prayers. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean the invocation prayers for Srimad Bhagavatam. So that will be on this. Okay. So once again, our meditation goes towards Sri Shukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So we should try to listen like Parikshit Maharaj. Another beautiful picture. And all the sages of Naimisharanya as well. I mean, these are not on Naimisharanya, but that is Shukratal. This is Naimisharanya, where Sutta Goswami is narrating the Srimad Bhagavatam to Shaunakadi Rishi. So let us recite 3 times, if possible. Please recite after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we are on the topic of 10 offenses to the holy name, which follows this long discussion we had on the story of Ajamil, which glorified the powers of the holy name. So the context of this topic is that Ajamil, in his last moment, chanted the name of Lord Narayana in an offenseless manner. So the question becomes, what are the offenses to the holy name? And how can, therefore, once we know what are the offenses, we can try to avoid them. So we talked about two offenses. One is Vaishnava Aparadh, blaspheming those personalities who have dedicated their lives in propagating the holy name. And the second one is considering the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. So we covered these two, and we touched upon the third one, which is very important, which is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, to not follow the instructions of the spiritual master, which is known as Guru Avagya. Avagya means to disregard. So Guru Avagya or Gurur Avagya. So that is the topic of today. So I will share my screen. Very interesting topic. Who is Guru? Who is a Guru and how should we, why do we, so several things we will discuss, that who is a Guru and what are the offenses that one may cause to a Guru? Why do we cause those offenses? What causes us to cause those? Nobody generally wants to, unless one is very malicious, but it happens. We end up offending the spiritual master. What causes that? And how can we avoid and rectify that offense? So these are some of the topics we will go into. And if time permits, we will then cover the next offense, which is Shruti Shastra Ninda, which means blaspheming the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version, which means the whole body of Vaishnava literatures, not just the four Vedas, but everything that is in pursuance of the Vedic version, that is describing the same things as the Vedas are. So what are the, that is the Shruti, that is known as Shruti Shastra Ninda. Ninda, you all understand, blaspheming or speaking ill about Shastra. So those are the two, hopefully we will cover. If time permits, we can go even further, but I think there's a lot of material in this one. So is the screen share working? Oh,
yes, Prabhu.
I'm trying to use my iPad as a mouse pad, sorry. Technology is very confusing after a certain point. Okay, very nice. So we will talk about offense number 3, which is called Gurur Avagya, or to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. or Guru, to disobey the orders of Guru. So last time I had mentioned that if possible, please try to read this section from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 19, 151 to, let's say, 165. I will just pick some, about 15 verses. But the first one is very important. So let's look at that first one, which starts with Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. Chapter 19, 151. So this is a very, very important verse. Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. So many living entities are wandering in this universe in various species of life, from one species to another species to another species. And some Bhagyavan, some fortunate Jiva gets a human life. And the best use of the human life is to Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. So the best use of that human life is to approach a Guru and get the seed, the prasad. Prasad means a gift. A spiritual gift is a prasad, or it's also called remnant of the Supreme Lord, etc. But the Lord leaves. He eats some and he leaves. The Lord is so merciful, he leaves everything. Doesn't take anything, so to say. The plate is always full. We would be very distressed if the Lord eats everything and doesn't leave anything for us. Anyway, so that is his gift back to us. Okay, you have given me, I have eaten with my eyes, and I give back everything to you as prasad. So having got this human life, we should accept this gift from Guru, which is coming through the Guru Parampara from Krishna, of the seed of Bhakti Lata. So we should consider this as a great fortune for those who get it, or those who seek it, or those who are trying to seek it. It's a great fortune. So first of all, it is described in the scriptures to get a human life itself is a great fortune, right? Now we are all going through these species, various species, and after coming to a state where we are eligible to get a human life, that is one way. That takes a very, very long cycle. 8,400,000 species are there. So depending on our karma, we have to take that. There is another way to get a human life. Any idea what it is? Even though we are not eligible yet, we, let's say, still have to go through 200,000 species. It's a very big number, but a very small portion of 8,400,000, less than maybe 2%, or whatever, you can do the math. So what is another reason? Anybody?
According to the 6th chapter, and if we are born in the family of divine people, we will be born as human being again.
That is very correct, but that was not the question. The question was slightly different. There, if we had performed some spiritual activity, some devotional activity in past life, but it was unfinished, so that is something we had done, then we get a human life. Yes, that is one criteria. But let's say we have 200,000 species to go, still in our karmic balance, yet we can get a human life.
Krishna Bhakti.
Yes, go ahead.
Krishna Bhakti.
Okay. Anybody else?
Guru Krupa,
Okay.
spiritual, the Krupa of the spiritual master.
Okay. What else?
Prasad or blessings of any Vaishnava, or I'm just guessing. I haven't read it, but I'm just like
So,
guessing.
Mataji, your guess is 100% correct.
Okay.
By mercy of a pure devotee. Oh. One can get a human life. One can get a human life form by the mercy of a pure devotee. And that is why it is said that even when you are on the street, if you have some prasad, give it to a dog, cat, a snail, earthworm, whatever is there, give it. Bird, give some prasad. And you may think, oh, I am not a pure devotee. Does not matter. You are not the one who is doing it. The prasad has been offered to Srila Prabhupada, to all the Guru Parampara, to Lord Krishna, and that is what you have. So on the strength of that prasad, nothing to do with you. Don't think like that. I am not pure. You are not in the equation. Srila Prabhupada is in the equation. So you give that prasad and then he gets a human life. It is such a blessing. Such a blessing that 200,000, let's say, or 100,000 or 50,000, even 500, 100 lifetimes. Can you imagine 100 lives of a dog, cat, whatever, and then you will get human life, and now you're getting it. So that is the fortune. We don't know what is your past history, how you got it, the human life, what mercy happened that you got it. We don't know. Maybe you were a great Vaishnava before. Maybe your devotional service was unfinished, or maybe it was a mercy of another devotee. The point being is that human life must be treated with utmost regard. It's very, very, very fortunate. Bhagyavan Jiva. And even more Bhagyavan is one who accepts or receives this gift or seeks out the gift so that you receive it. The Guru Krishna Prasad, which is the bija of Bhakti Lata, the bij of devotion. So we are all, whoever is listening on the call is very fortunate, because all of you have received that bija because all of you, I know, have read the Bhagavad Gita by Srila Prabhupada, the commentaries by Srila Prabhupada. You have that basic understanding. So the bij is there. And now you have to water the bij, the seed. And then the lata or the creeper will flourish. So that the first point is that this human life, we have to treat it like a gift. There is no right that we have. It's a privilege. Like you say, my kids are learning to drive these days. They say driving is not a right, it's a privilege. If you don't drive properly, they will take it away. Your privilege will be taken away. It's not like free speech is a right. Driving is not a right. Similarly, the human life itself is not a right. It's a privilege. So we have to use it properly. And the proper use is to go find Krishna. And the person, the most important person, the most important guide, whenever you go in any place, new place, you want a guide, correct? You go to Mount Everest, you have a Shepra. You go to any place, you have a guide who takes you. The guide is Guru, to find Krishna. So that is the topic of today. So the first topic is, who is Guru? Who is a Guru? The first, so there are three characteristics of a guru, 3 primary characteristics. The first one is he is fully or completely in control of his senses. Now, his can also mean her. We just use his as a, figure of speech or whatever the sentence. Okay, like, okay, so does not mean that guru cannot be female. Definitely can be female. There are so many examples. There is Janava Mata and so many other female gurus. So one is in complete control of their senses. This is the first characteristic. And there is very, very important verse in Nectar of Instruction. The first verse says, Vacho vegam manasah, krodha vegam, jivha vegam, uduro pastha vegam. So, and so on. The translation is, a sober person who can tolerate these 6 urges. 6 urges are mentioned. The urge to speak, the mind's demands, whatever, comes to mind. People say, I will speak my mind. I gave him a piece of my mind. So which means they just blurted out whatever came to the mind. So one who has the capacity to tolerate the urge of the mind, to speak the urge of the mind. The mind's demands, the actions of anger, krodha vegam. The urges of the tongue, jivha vegam. Belly, udaro vegam, udaro pastha vegam. And the genitals, which means controlling your sex desires, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So these are the things that you have to control. The urge to speak, vacha, mind, manaso, krodha, jivha, udara, and upastha. So these are the 6 urges to control, which means controlling all your senses. And such a person, Rupa Goswami says, is qualified. That's the necessary qualification. So he is in complete control of his or her senses. The second one is that he knows the science or philosophy, we can say, of Krishna consciousness. So it is not just, it's a necessary qualification, but not sufficient. That just controlling this, you will find many people who can control their senses, but if they don't know Krishna consciousness, then, so that is another very important qualification. And the third qualification is he should have the ability to liberate the living entity from samsara. Samsara means from the cycle of birth and death. And this comes from Krishna through the Guru Parampara, which means he should have been given that empowerment in the bona fide Parampara, Guru Parampara, to be able to continue this cycle, or not cycle, the chain of disciplic succession to deliver other living entities. So these are the 3 characteristics, or the 3 primary characteristics of the Guru. Now, Another characteristic, a secondary characteristic, is a derivative of this one. The second one, that not only he should know the science of Krishna consciousness, he should have the ability to convey it to others. Now, this does not mean through any kind of scholarship or any kind of eloquent oratorship. It could also be through one's acharya, through one's behavior, through one's actions. So there are so many gurus who would not even speak, like Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj's guru, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. He is illiterate, at least from a external standpoint. But he was a perfect devotee, always absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So in that way, he conveyed it to Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, who would say that, if you are not my guru, then I'm going to end my life. What's the use of my life if I'm not fit to be you cannot accept me as a disciple? So he so strongly accepted him as a guru. So which means that the sort of the key meaning here is that ability to convey it to others includes walking one's talk. On the contrary, many people may just be eloquent speakers like myself, but not following my own words, whatever I'm speaking. Hypocrites, pretenders. So walking one's talk is very important, not pretenders like me. So speaking very elaborate, eloquent words, but not doing it. So one should not only know the science of Krishna consciousness, one should be able to convey it to others, and one should follow it himself. So eloquence, scholarship, oratorship are basically non-entities or non-attributes. So this is a guru. These are the characteristics or the core aspects of a guru. Such a person can be a guru. Is that clear? Next. There are 3 types or categories of guru, of a guru. 3 categories of a guru. The first one is known as a Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru is very, we all understand, who gives spiritual initiation, who formally accepts the disciple into the sampradaya, into the whichever sampradaya he is from. Through the disciplic succession, he accepts the disciple through the process of Diksha. So Diksha Guru can only be one. Having taken Diksha from a guru, one should not undo that and say, okay, what do you say? I divorce, no divorce, no, what's the other word? I what? Relinquish or what?
Renounce.
Renounce, yes, renounce my guru. And I will take another one. So there's nothing like that. The second one is Shiksha Guru. And these can be many. And Shiksha Guru is one from whom we can receive shiksha, spiritual shiksha, as long as they are all speaking in alignment with the parampara, sampradaya, shastra, and diksha guru. So they are all speaking in alignment with each other, but different topics may be there. One may be speaking Bhagavad Gita, might be an expert in Bhagavad Gita, like, maybe like Chaitanya-Charan Prabhu is, very expert, or one is expert in some other topic, like Srimad Bhagavatam. One is expert in some other area, like science, Vedic science, some is expert, but they are all aligned with each other. So one can have many Shiksha Gurus, or one is an expert in preaching or conveying, like book distribution, etc. Vaisheshika Prabhu and so on. So many Shiksha Gurus can be there. And you do not need to even have a formal sort of a relationship either. You can just accept them as a Shiksha Guru and take Shiksha from them and use it for your spiritual progress. The third one is the most prominent, which is known as a Samsthapak Guru. Or founder Acharya. Or just Acharya. There's this whole series, video series made called Acharya on Srila Prabhupada's life. So Acharya. So this is founder Acharya, and also, he is the founder Acharya, can be one. But he is the founder Acharya of the whole, you can say, Sampradaya or the sub-Sampradaya of the subsection, and I will explain who is founder Acharya. What is the meaning of founder Acharya? So founder Acharya is, in our case, who is the founder Acharya?
Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
You also say about non-pradarshak guru, right?
Yeah, so that is a fourth category of guru. Yes, but these are the gurus whom we follow throughout our spiritual life. Marg, so the question is, there is another type of guru called Marga Pradarshak Guru, who has shown us the direction to the main guru. So you are in a new place, you say, I want to find a guide. You say, there you go there, you'll find a guide. Okay, so that is his contribution, very important, but that is not listed here. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya. Who is a founder Acharya? We must have clarity on that. What is the position or place of Srila Prabhupada? So many times it has been seen that devotees within ISKCON, they become very attached to their guru, the Diksha Guru, which is a very good thing. But at some point or some place, they have a diminished attachment or diminished reverence, very nice, thank you Mataji, to Srila Prabhupada. Just becomes like a, a deity sitting there in the temple, and that's it. So who is Srila? And he's the most important guru. He is so important that the founder Acharya gives certain instructions which are exactly the same instructions given by the Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. They are exactly the same. However, if any Diksha Guru or any Shiksha Guru were to deviate from the instructions of the founder Acharya, whom should you accept and whom should you reject? Whose instructions supersede or override? Founder Acharya. So he is the one from whom all instructions are flowing. If a Diksha or a Shiksha Guru happens to be misaligned, like grossly misaligned, first of all, we must understand we are not misaligned or we are not misunderstanding. The Diksha or Shiksha Guru may be saying may be aligned through our pramad or bhrama. We might be through our sort of illusion or our error. We might think that he is misaligned. First of all, we must be very clear that he is misaligned. But if that is the case, then Diksha or Shiksha Guru is to be rejected and the founder Acharya is to be accepted. That is the position of founder Acharya. First point. Okay. So there are 4 characteristics of Acharya or founder Acharya. The first one is that he formulates fundamental directions for spiritual growth of his disciples. Fundamental directions he gives. That this is what we will do. Like Srila Prabhupada. He gave very fundamental directions. We will follow, of course, we will follow Lord Krishna, but we will follow the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Now, of course, in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, everybody is following the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. But in any case, he formulates fundamental directions that this is the direction. There can be many other valid directions, but he formulates a fundamental direction that his disciples or his set of disciples should follow. Because there are just too many directions one can follow. Then one can get confused, get mixed up and confused, or always be in this dilemma that, oh, why not this one? Why not that one? Why not that one? And another point is that sometimes these, let's say there are 2 fundamentally valid directions. Both are substantiated in the Shastra. So you can point to the Shastra and say, see, it is written there, you should do like this. It is written here, you should do like this. But if you do this, you cannot do that. They may be in conflict with each other. Then, by following the instructions of the Acharya, the instructions that he has, the direction he has formulated, you are protected from the ill effects, if there were any, by not following the other one. Because you are faithful to your founder Acharya, any ill effects of not doing the other thing, which is because in mutually exclusive cases, you can do only one or the other. Cannot do both. That is the definition of mutual exclusion. Mutex. All the computer science people understand mutex. You can do one, only one process can have handle on that, not both. So you are absolved from any reactions of dis or not following the other. So he formulates these directions. The second one is he he re-strengthens the sampradaya. And we can see Srila Prabhupada re-strengthened the sampradaya. We cannot say that about many of the others who are gurus. So they may be Shiksha gurus, they may be Diksha gurus, but they are not founder acharyas. The third one is they expand the sampradaya. They bring not only, of course, the gurus bring new people, the new jivas, but they bring new categories of jivas. Did Srila Prabhupada do that? By all means. The whole Paschatya Desha Tarine, he delivered the whole sort of the Western world. So many Western, that whole category of, he expanded the Vaishnava Sampradaya to just completely new shores and new lands. And the fourth and final one is that they establish a specific spiritual movement. A specific spiritual movement which lasts long beyond they disappear. The whole movement is attributed to them. So these are the fundamental characteristics of a founder acharya. And it is the duty of any disciple. So here there can be many disciples of Diksha Gurus. There can be many disciples of Siksha Gurus. Like this, there can be, this number can be very huge. But the teachings and the instructions that are left by the founder acharya should be honored as the topmost. How many ever levels there can be? After another 50 years, there'll be more levels. Today, most of the Shiksha and Diksha Gurus within ISKCON are direct disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So we are one level sort of below. In another few years, we might be 2-3 levels below. But the instructions of the founder acharya must always be honored and treated as the topmost. In case of doubt, going back to the previous statement, the authority of the founder acharya prevails. Now, in many situations, the founder acharya may not have statements at all. For example, if you ask Srila Prabhupada whether I should take COVID vaccine or not, that was a topic. COVID wasn't even a thing. Okay, fine, there were other vaccines. Or you can say about maybe video games. Should children play video games? Should we play video games? Video games probably weren't a thing. I don't know. Maybe Pac-Man was in the 1970s, who knows? So like that. But still we should derive our understanding from the instructions of the acharya. But if certain instructions may not even exist, then we have to do our best to derive the instructions from his instructions. So, Srila Prabhupada, did all these 4 things. And he, for example, one of the things that he was criticized for by others was allowing women to worship the deity. But Srila Prabhupada formulated that practice. And because of that, so many female devotees or females became such nice devotees who were, did so much wonderful service, are still continuing to do such wonderful service towards the lordships. And no degradation of society happened. No, there have been no, in the last 50, 60 years, no perceived degradation has occurred because females are allowed to. That was the criticism, oh, by allowing females, the sampradaya will degrade. Nothing has happened. So he formulated a new direction and did new things. Even things like, giving diksha, initial spiritual initiation to so-called Western people, and who were meat-eating people and this and that. There was a lot of criticism. But he formulated those directions on the authority of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, next topic. So we discussed two things: who is a guru and who is founder acharya. We discussed three types of gurus, but we spent most time on founder acharya. And there is shiksha guru and diksha guru. So we discussed the three types of gurus, who is a guru, and three types of guru. The next topic is how to respect a guru properly. What is the proper way of showing one's respect to a guru? So here there are 4 internal ways and 10 external ways. So internal ways means our mood towards a guru. What should be our mood towards a guru? So first we will cover the internal, because the internal gives rise to the external. Of course, one can pretend externally without any internal, but the real external manifestation of our actions comes from our internal understanding of who is a guru. So what is the internal understanding? The first point is that one should have the understanding that guru is an intimate servant of Krishna. He's a very, very dear and close servant of Krishna. So he is serving Krishna, so we should serve him. So he's a very intimate, very dear servant of Lord Krishna. One should never misunderstand Guru as an ordinary person, as an ordinary human being. Oh, he's just a, ordinary human being. He also has flaws. Yeah, he's doing some good things, but he has flaws. So what if he is doing this? Other people are also doing great things. Elon Musk, he is trying to change the world by, making, a whole new civilization on Mars or whatever. So he's doing great things, but he's an ordinary man. Nobody will say Elon Musk is a devata or even Bhagavan. So what is special about Guru? He's also doing great things, fine. Srila Prabhupada established so many devotees, disciples, and temples. So many people have done similar things. They have built big, big companies which have given so much employment, so much, things to people. So trying to equate them as an ordinary person who has done some good things. The third one is that one should consider the Guru as someone special sent by Lord Krishna to us for our spiritual benefit. Lord Krishna has sent him to us. He's not just a man out there. We have come in contact with this person who we think is a guru. It's not by chance. Krishna has sent him. There is a purpose behind me coming in contact with this person. And that purpose is defined or designed by Krishna. There is something there that Krishna wants to happen. Why he has made us in contact. Otherwise, there are trillions and trillions of jivas. Guru is a jiva, of course, he's not Bhagavan in that sense. But two jivas just coming in contact is like two molecules of water coming in contact in the ocean. What is the probability? One molecule is in the Indian Ocean, one molecule is in the Pacific Ocean. What is the probability that these two molecules will come in contact? So Krishna has arranged that. It's not just mere chance and any such thing. And the last one is that one should worship Guru as a dear servant of Krishna. In the mind, not externally. Externally also we will come to it 10 different ways, but internally one should have that awe and reverence and surrender, in the sense like, again, not fearful surrender, but heartfelt surrender to Guru. So these are the four internal mood of a disciple towards a Guru. Now let us look at the external. How does this mentality, how it should manifest externally? So the external manifestation. Yeah. So one should consider the Guru like that, but once you have accepted a Guru like that, then one should worship him, have that surrender to him. The first one can apply to other Diksha Gurus as well. The fourth one, again, this is sort of my understanding. One should worship the Guru that you have accepted, the worship part, your personal worship, putting him on the altar or his picture on the altar and worshipping for your Guru. So yes, your Diksha Guru. No, not Shiksha Guru. But these are general principles. Again, hard questions. So external manifestation of our or surrender to Guru, or surrender or service, we can say. Oh. So there are 10 different methods which have been described. So there are 10 of these. The first one is that Guru should be worshipped. Now, all of these apply primarily to Diksha Guru. Okay. Guru should be worshipped before worship of Krishna. Okay. This is straightforward. We all, on here in the altar, we see Srila Prabhupada and the whole Guru Parampara. So we worship Guru, and through our service, through our worship of Guru, our worship reaches Krishna. When we are worshipping Krishna, Krishna has no obligation to accept our service. But Guru is more merciful than Krishna. He accepts our service even though it is full of faults. And when he passes it along to Krishna, Krishna has no choice but to accept that service because it is being recommended by the Guru. Even though it is full of faults, our service. But Guru, by his merciful nature, recommends it to Krishna, and Krishna cannot refuse the Guru. And of course, Guru offers it through the parampara to Krishna. So Krishna absolutely accepts. So therefore, Guru should be worshipped before any worship of Krishna. That makes our worship successful. Otherwise, there is a chance, Krishna may accept or may not accept. The second one is Guru should be offered all nice things, which means asana, nice place to sit, nice prasad, nice, so many nice things. So offering all the nice things, nice place to sit. If it is cold, then you give him warm clothing. If it is hot, then you give him fan. Okay, always give him water. All these things we should give. The third one, that before adopting worship of a deity, one must take permission of Guru. So many devotees will have the natural attraction or the natural inclination to worship a deity. So one must approach a Guru first and take his guidance, take his permission before doing that. That is also a mark of respect to the Guru. Of course, one can worship the deity without that, but then one is short-circuiting the Guru. So in that sense, it is not a service to the Guru. No Guru will say, don't worship the deity. He might have certain recommendations. You worship like this, you worship this deity or that deity, or you offer worship to a picture of a deity or a metal or whatever deity. He may have recommendations. So that is the third one. The fourth one is that before chanting japa or kirtana or sankirtana, one should offer respect to the Guru, or one should offer prayer to the Guru. Fifth one, one should offer Dandavat Pranam to Guru. Okay. Next, Sixth one should glorify the Guru loudly. You might have seen when Srila Prabhupada was present, even today, as he is present as a deity, but when he was present in, so to say, flesh and blood, all the disciples used to shout and say, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So loud glorification of the Guru should be done. Seventh, one should accept his or her, whatever, remnants as prasadam. So whatever remnants he has left, we should accept, one should accept, the disciple should accept that. 8, never discuss topics that he does not like. Okay, now the last two are considered very important, and they are sort of a umbrella. And the 9th one is always follow his instructions. Or conversely, never disobey his instructions. So this is the primary one, what we are discussing, that this is an offense to the holy name. One should never disobey the instructions of spiritual master. So always following the instructions. And the last one is to fully surrender one's self to the feet, to the lotus feet of the Guru. So these two are sort of the blanket or overall umbrella instructions. Okay. So this is how one serves the Guru. So quickly to revise, how to respect or how to serve, we can say here, respect or serve Guru properly, 4 internal ways, and then 10 external ways. So that is what we discussed. Now comes the important discussion. How do offenses to Guru appear in our heart? How do they appear in our heart? So there are 4 ways given on how these offenses appear in our heart. And more or less, these are, when I was reading this and I was thinking about these are more or less converses of the previous ones, how to serve a Guru. But 4 are given, and the first one is to see the Guru with mundane vision, or mundane means material vision. Just like I was explaining, oh, he's just an ordinary person. He's doing some good things. So many ordinary people, ordinary or they are great in that sense, but they are doing these things. Guru is doing these things. That is the root. When this bhavana comes, all the other offenses come to Guru. You stop respecting him internally as well as externally. You think, oh, why would I eat some remnant left by him? Oh, he just recovered from COVID. Why should I eat remnant? Or he's just an ordinary person. Or sometimes, people say, oh, give me that fresh chapati which has not touched. That one I will take. But if there is some soup that he has drank like this, I won't take that. Kind of all these things. Because you consider him to be an ordinary person. You don't want to do that for some ordinary person. Why would you do that for this ordinary person? So all those stem from considering him to be just an ordinary person. None of these things given here, or most of these things, you would not do to an ordinary person. Whenever you are about to start chanting japa, why would you take any person's name? Do you take Elon Musk's name? No. Do you take whatever, Do you offer Dandavat Pranam? Do you take his permission to worship a deity? No. So why would you do that to an ordinary person? The second one is there are two parts, so to say, in the second one, 2A and 2B. But basically it is bad association. Bad association of people who do not have faith in Guru Parampara. I have personally seen this. Oh yes, yeah, आप भगवान की पूजा करो ना, ये इन सब की क्या, why do you add all this long chain of baggage? Yeah, I also have great respect for Radha Krishna. Why all you have to do all this thing, this whole chain keys? What is the necessity? So they are people who have faith in, or some so-called faith in Krishna, but no faith in Guru Parampara. So by such association, our mind gets clouded. And there are many writings also of literature. Nonsensical literature like this. Then the third one, so 4 we said, so 2A and 2B. And the third one is to agree but ignore his instructions. Guru said something. Now immediately if he said, most people agree, I want one more chapati. Oh, immediately you will get a chapati. You'll bring, okay, no problem. But if Guru says that you go and cooperate nicely with this other disciple, Guru said cooperate nicely, that we forget. Oh, so what if he said we'll continue to fight? Or Guru said, go and do book distribution. No, I will just sit and, do my little bit. I don't want to distribute books. Why? Who will take the hassle of going? Or you will go and distribute on one Sunday in the whole year. I did. Okay, done. But that's not what the Guru meant. That go distribute one book. Book distribution doesn't, okay, that also is very good. But you have to understand the spirit and really follow. If you were to tell Guru that I followed your instructions, you should be able to tell with a straight face, not just like a checkbox. So that is the agree but ignore part. Yes, I will do it. And you come up with some justification in your mind that I have done it. But basically you ignored it. Right? And it can take many severe forms. It could mean also outright ignore, not even do it, or do it in some way in which you can kind of check a box. So these are the reasons how offenses appear in our heart. Then we begin to consider the Guru as a person, and all the other things follow. The Guru Nishtha, the faith towards the Guru, begins to reduce. And the final topic of the discussion will be how to avoid or rectify. We will deal both these things, offences to Guru. Though avoid and rectify are in two different categories. Avoid is preventive, rectify is curative. But the answers are very similar. So somebody should mute. If you want to speak something, by all means, feel free to unmute and say. No problem. So how to avoid or rectify the offenses? So the first one, again, in two parts, A and B, basically avoid or give up bad association. The two types of bad association, of people and of such literatures. Avoid is in the preventive category, give up is in the rectification category. The second one is overlook. Now it may, according to our illusion or our misunderstanding, it may appear that he has some shortcomings. Some guru may be a little bit, overweight. Maybe eating, one or two rotis, chapatis more than he should. Okay, his BMI index or whatever you can call it may be high, whatever may be the case. Maybe he's not like Srila Prabhupada, who gets up at 2 in the morning or at 1 o'clock and just sleeps for 2 hours. Maybe he sleeps for 6 hours. I met one sannyasi, very, very humble, very nice sannyasi, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And he told that, I need 6 hours of sleep minimum. I cannot sleep like 2 hours like Prabhupada did. Otherwise, I'm old, and if I don't get that much sleep, my whole system, I get acidity, I get this, I get bodily problems are there. One should not think that, oh, he's not a good enough guru. Not like that. So one should overlook any external shortcomings. Even if they are there, we should first of all not even consider them as shortcomings. But even if we are fully convinced that there are shortcomings, one should overlook those. And the third one is to focus on his instructions and not on his physical appearance. From our standpoint, we should not be the judge. Is he walking his talk? That is for him to judge and his guru to judge and for Krishna to judge. We have not been appointed. Disciples are not the judges of the guru. So we should focus on his instructions and not on the physical appearance. Oh, he's Western, he's Indian, he's male, female. None of those things. Oh, he keeps dancing all the time. He never sits soberly and chants. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance. He used to dance so vigorously that it is said that his arms, are like a, fan. When you turn on the fan, you can't see the arms. You just see like a disc. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arms, when he would dance, would be like a fan's disc. He would dance so vigorously. Vrakeshwar Pandit used to dance so vigorously also. So he said, oh, this guru keeps dancing like, dancers. Guru should be like, morose and no, not like that. And the last one is to profusely repent and beg forgiveness from Guru. So this one is in the rectification category. The others are in the avoidance plus rectification category. This one is in the rectification category, to fall at the feet of the Guru and ask for his forgiveness. So there is, I was reading a couple of articles on Guru and offenses to Guru, and all of them I saw quoted one very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I just want to show that how by service of Guru, one can transcend all materialism and go to spiritualism. So material modes, everything is caused by the modes. Modes are, as we have been discussing recently in the Bhagavad Gita classes, the topic in the 7th chapter, everything is comprised of the modes. Everything as in everything material. Not only the physical elements, but also our consciousness. So this verse says that all the three modes can be transcended by Guru Bhakti, Bhakti to Guru. And that takes us away from these material modes, the three modes, and puts us into Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is the spiritual mode. So let's see this verse. This is it has been quoted many times in the discussion about the position of Guru. And this is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, last chapter, 25th verse. Would anybody like to read this verse?
So I can try, Prabhu. If you don't mind, Prabhu.
Yes, please, Narottam Das Prabhu. Go ahead.
Rajastamascha satvena sattvam chopashamena cha etat sarvam guru bhaktya purusho yat anjasa jayet.
Thank you very
Translation.
much. Yes,
Should
go ahead.
we go ahead, Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay. One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. And then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature. Jai. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Very nice. Thank you. So all these modes, Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva, can be transcended and we can be put into Sattvam. Sattvam means the Shuddha Sattva, not the material Sattva, but Shuddha Sattva. How? All these can be obtained by Guru Bhaktya, by those who are Guru Bhaktas, sincere followers or sincere disciples, not namesake, lip service. No, not lip service, but serious disciples of Guru. They can transcend all these. Such people can conquer Jayet, these modes, the three material modes that have been mentioned, and get fixed on Shuddha Sattva. So very nice verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Another thing I just wanted to mention here, this is also quoted. This is a lecture by Srila Prabhupada. I remember this because this is delivered on the exact day of birth of my wife, including the year. So 1975, February 11th. So I have revealed your birth date and year. 11th. Where is 11th?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
11th February 1975. And here, Srila Prabhupada says, Hridayananda Maharaj is asking a question from somebody. So this was in Mexico City. So somebody asked a question in Spanish language. So he says he wants to know what is the greatest offense to a spiritual master. Is it to disobey the spiritual master? Is that the greatest offense? And Srila Prabhupada says, yes, that is the first offense. Gurur avagnya. That's the Sanskrit in Padma Purana, Gurur avagnya. And the next one, which we will probably not have the time to go into today, 7:26 already, is the Shruti Shastra Ninda. Blaspheming the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. So that is the fourth one. Gurur avagnya. If you accept Guru and again disobey him, then what is your position? You are not a gentleman. You promise before Guru, before Krishna, before fire. Fire means the yajna that happens during initiation. That I shall obey your order, I shall execute this, and again you do not do this. You are not even a gentleman. What to speak about a devotee? This is common sense. So, just two references. Okay, so that is the topic of Guru. So to quickly recap from the beginning, we started with this offense discussion on the third offense, Guru avagya, disobeying the orders of the spiritual master. So it starts with realizing how fortunate we are to come in contact with a Guru. First of all, we are fortunate to get a human life. And then more fortunate to come in contact with Guru and Krishna and receiving the prasad. What is the prasad that Guru gives? Bija, not bhakti lata. He doesn't give the whole lata. He gives the bij of the lata. He has left something for us to do, which is to water the bij. So he gives the bij. That is the gift he gives, prasad. So we must treat it as a very, very important gift from a Guru. So that gift can only be obtained from Guru. Krishna never comes and directly gives, very, very, very rarely. But he gives through Guru. Okay. So that is the first and foremost point of gratitude of Guru. Had it not been for Srila Prabhupada, what would we have? So many people, person after person after person, in Back to Godhead, we read magazine, we read, how did you come into Krishna consciousness? So many of the Indian people, they say in India, we didn't get anything. After coming to America, we got what we left behind in India. Isn't it? That is definitely the case with us. We had no clue. Of course, we used to go to temple. We used to, give a donation 101 rupees and, God, keep me happy, keep my family happy, keep me healthy, keep me this, keep me that. Here is my insurance premium, 101 rupees, pretty cheap. But after coming here to the West, due to mercy of some devotees who grabbed me, and I was like, oh, I have to go shopping. The stores are going to close. He said, why you have to go to the stores? Just sit, eat nice prasadam. It's being just offered, just wait. And I was always looking at the watch. Why God is taking so long to eat? And this fellow wants me to eat it. Quickly, I will eat and then go shopping. So like that, my life had started. Very sweet devotee there was, Dhananjay Prabhu, like that. He held me, said, no, you have to eat and go. So that was my first exposure to ISKCON within the West. That was in 2004. Anyway, and then many other devotees, none of them let me go. I was ready to go. They kept me, including our wonderful current Dr. Temple President, Jai Satchidanand Prabhu. I'm ever grateful to him. And many other devotees. So we discussed who is. So yeah, who is a guru? What are the characteristics of a guru? The categories, 3 categories of guru. Amongst that, the founder acharya or samsthapak guru is very, very important. We discussed the importance of founder acharya. Then we discussed how to respect or serve a guru internally and externally. We discussed what causes the offense, what is the root cause of offense, and how it starts. It starts with small things and then it grows to a point where we completely neglect. And then how to avoid and rectify the offenses. So we discussed all these topics. Any questions or corrections or discussion? Yes, Prabhuji. So somebody is asking a question in the room. I will repeat it.
India being the land of gurus, so to say, there are hundreds of gurus and pseudo gurus, fake gurus, and we follow the criteria you set forth in slide number 2 to the kinds of gurus, the characteristics of the gurus. How much should we be willing to overlook a guru's external or any shortcomings to accept him? I know it's a matter of common sense to see how much what he doesn't ignore. But there have been scandals broken about certain gurus in the past. And there are still gurus for them even to this day. And those, I believe, are a consequence of devotees ignoring the disciples of that guru ignoring what he's doing, right? So should we be in a mode of constant lookout as to, oh no, what is my guru doing, what is my guru doing? I feel that detracts from the purpose of what we are supposed to do.
So I think there are multiple parts to your question. I will try to summarize or just paraphrase. One was to starting with India and so many land of gurus, so to say, and how to find the sort of the right guru there in that situation when they have so many gurus you have in front of you, so to say. And I think the second part of the question was also about, should we even within, let's say, this is not something you said, but I'm just saying, even within ISKCON or within a, if we have narrowed down how to find a guru, should we always be in a evaluation mode, judgment mode? And when do we, how to commit or how to say that I'm, submit or surrender to guru with heartfelt feeling, kind of. Yeah, it's a very nice question. So very tough question. And Srila Prabhupada says this, that so you must be clear what you are seeking for. If you go to seek pieces of glass, you will find pieces of glass. You want a diamond necklace for 100 rupees. Where will you go? To artificial store, isn't it? If you want real diamond necklace, you will go to some Tanishq or some, I don't know what are the latest branded, or so to say, you'll go to some reputed place. I'm not saying those diamond merchants are honest, but I'm just saying as an example, you will look for reputation. So it first depends on what you want. You will get what you want. You must be very clear what you are looking for. Okay. The second point is, if you are convinced by Srila Prabhupada's commentaries and his alignment or his description, no need to search further. Stay within Srila Prabhupada's family. Yes, there could definitely be other bona fide gurus. Srila Prabhupada by no means has a monopoly on Krishna, as like the only way to get Krishna is to Srila Prabhupada, otherwise nothing. Otherwise you are doomed. That is not the case. At least I don't say or believe that's the case. But how do you find someone else? Srila Prabhupada is a reputed, absolutely, no, what you say, not even one spotless, unblemished record. So why look further? You want a diamond necklace, you have this Tanishq shop, go buy it. You have one life left. Not left, you have one life with you, right? You cannot plan for your next life. All you can plan for is this life. And there's one guru, why you have to look for others? So that would be the second answer. That there is a very clear option where you want to look. If there is something else you want, and if you're not convinced or you don't like the philosophy of Srila Prabhupada, then that's a different matter. Then you have to go search. And yes, in the true sense, first you have to search. You have to search, and you have to be clear what you are searching for. And then if you have a very, very sincere desire, Krishna will make you connect to the Guru. So have that very sincere desire and pray to Krishna that please connect me to my Guru. There are so many examples of devotees who spent such a long time seeking out their Guru, and ultimately they found their Guru. Narad Muni, for example, he was just going around and then he finally could hear the voice. Momentarily he saw the Lord, but that sincere desire was there. There's this beautiful, nice book by Radhanath Maharaj, Journey Home. And so many other examples are there. Very sincerely, very seriously. And if I have read some of the answers by some great spiritual people, they all say the same thing. Pray to the Lord and he will bring your Guru to your doorstep. You will be amazed, but you have to ask or pray sincerely for that. Okay. Was there another component to your question, or was it this?
I think it answers my question.
Anything else? Okay. If not anything else. Yes.
Can I add, Prabhu? something, Prabhu?
Yes, please. Absolutely. I was hoping you would say something or some.
No, Prabhu, by your mercy, Prabhu, at all. Prabhu, I remember this verse, Prabhu. I heard a lot of devotees quoting this verse, and Prabhupada himself quoting this verse. Is in the what is the position of a guru? Prabhupada used to quote this verse quite a bit. It comes in the 11th canto in the Uddhav Gita, chapter number 7, verse number 28. You must have also heard, Prabhu. Acharya ma vijaniyan navamanyeta karhichit namartya buddha suyeta sarvadeva mayo guru. One should know the acharya as myself. That's where the guru should be considered same as Krishna. I mean, not same like Krishna. So Krishna himself says here, one should know the acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is a representative of all the demigods, Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. And Prabhupada, actually, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada writes a beautiful, they don't write a beautiful purport, they just, because this verse appears in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well, and they basically take that purport which Prabhupada wrote in the Chaitanya Charitamrita as it is, and then put it in Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's a very beautiful purport about the position of a spiritual master and what is the duty of a spiritual master. So we know the position of a disciple. What should the disciple think of, or how should the disciple, behave towards spiritual master? But in this purport, Prabhupada also mentions what is the duty of a spiritual master, what the spiritual master is supposed to do. Right? So as I mentioned, what we want, if we go with the attitude, that's what we get. So Prabhupada very beautifully says in that particular purport about that, and also 11.7.29 as well, where Krishna himself says duties of spiritual master, how should disciple behave. I remember that those two verses, Prabhu, and Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila, first chapter itself, the name of the chapter is Spiritual Masters, where extremely in detail Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has mentioned about the position of spiritual master, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru. So beautifully is Kaviraj Goswami has mentioned that it's worth read. If at all, I would humbly suggest Darshan Prabhu, if anyone wants to read more, they can go and read the first chapter of Adilila, spiritual master, where Kaviraj Goswami has detailed the position of a Guru Tattva. Has been extremely, very beautifully delineated, Prabhu. And the last thing which I would like to mention, Prabhu, is our dear Risik Acharya, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, whose disappearance, Prabhu, if I'm not wrong, Prabhu, is today. Right? He has written a beautiful 8 verses glorifying spiritual master, Guru Ashtakam, which we devotees in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, which Prabhupada's followers, we recite this every morning, where the position of a guru is mentioned, Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastre, same as what Krishna mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. He's like God, like. So very beautifully, beautiful meaning of Guru Ashtakam. If at all, if devotees are interested, they can read the translations of that and meditate on that and sing every morning to Srila Prabhupada when you do Mangalarti. So I just want to suggest these 3 things. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Wonderful. Thank you for all those additions. Beautiful. You all heard, right? Okay, thank you. That was nice, very nice additions. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Then we'll see you again next week. And temple is open tomorrow in Portland. So after few weeks of closure, so please visit. And please stay happy in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.